The safety car lights are out.
So if the GT3 racers were a bit grumpy, the GT4 racers couldn't care less because they're at the front of the field. The local guys, what a great day for Steve Scholes, winner of the opening race today, winner of the opening race of the series after the first one was a no result. Alongside him, his good mate and the smiling Grant Aiken as they lead them away in the Rodin cars, Super GT. 1 hour special already. One of them almost forced onto the grass and recovers. Stay out of the kitty litter. Great, but one of them, 2 or 3 have completely missed the bus stop.
That was Paul Kelly, I think. He's gone straight through the bus stop and hit one of the barriers, so there was a bit of damage there. I would not be surprised if there's a safety car to clear that debris off.
Yeah, it's a holy snap and ring spin a moment. The bus stop has been busted up completely. So, 1 car onto the grass straight away from the get-go, and 2 or 3 have just gone ploughing straight through the chicane. So, will we have the safety car?
It might be not too bad. I see a lot of it was offline, so we might be okay. We're just going to have to wait and see. But Gary Derrick is taking the most out of that race start.
He's charged out to the lead.
He's out in the lead. He's got good pace. And I'm sure he'll just start to slowly extend that lead. Early stages though, you never know what's going to happen. Gene Rollinson taking his time, cracking through the field now. So he's just relaxing. He knows he's got an hour to play. He knows he's got power. He's got pace. So playing it very smart.
Yeah. So you got time to play with. You don't. Well, and straight. we thought they had time, but straight away they just went bang.
Yeah, there might have been some of the red dust in the helmet. It got the adrenaline pumping. They just want to do it as fast as possible.
Rollinson down the inside, getting past the GT4 guys. So those GT3 racers are really wasting no time trying to work their way through the field as they finish what turned out to be, well, a controversial start. And yes, Paul Kelly limping back to the pits. I think the chicane, let's have a look at the chicane here. One of them's been busted, so that's going to carry on, which is great. All the little bit of debris there, but that's luckily out of the racing line as they swoop around the southern loop for the second time. And we're still racing, we've still got green flags, which is great. Plenty of colour too, isn't there?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome to see the amount of different liveries. This makes it easier for us to spot out some cars, and it's awesome that the crew have decided to carry on. Obviously that debris off the track, so hopefully it doesn't cause any further troubles. But Gene Rollinson now starting to make some moves. He's seen the gap that Gary Derrick is making, so he needs to start making a bit of a hurry up. So.
Ben Byers too, another one of the Porsches charging back through the field. So those GT3 Porsches dominating the actual entry list. Now they're trying to dominate the actual position list on the track. Rollinson, great looking, the Ginetta. So that's a GT4 car. It's got a V6 Mustang motor. Very popular one-make series in the UK, as Steve Scholes from Highlands Motorsport Park was telling us about yesterday. Absolutely loves it, and it's a great way for him to go motor racing. Look at Gene Rollinson. He's quick in the number 5 Porsche, the Racer Products car. So we'll try and catch up with Greg Russ to see what happened with Paul Kelly as they repair the work on that brand new Porsche field. Well, it's virtually brand new. It's basically been rebuilt after a crash at Phillip Island. And Paul Kelly was very happy with the speed of that car this weekend. He won't be quite so happy now, though, after an opening lap for a 1 hour race and you're in the pits.
No, he's had a really good weekend. He's had great pace all weekend. But, sadly, with the safety cars and a few incidents, it's been a bit hard for him, and I'm sure it's not the way he's wanting to finish.
So good to get some reaction there from a very disappointed PK Paul Kelly. But he'll be looking forward to going back home to Ruapuna and Mike Perro Motorsport Park next weekend to carry on with the Rodin Cars Super GT. Very experienced Porsche racer, Gene Rollinson, doing some great jobs there. Chasing down Derrick, Ben Byers. So the GT3 Porsches stretching their muscle and all having a go already. Look at this. Down towards the main straight, coming on towards, what, the S's?
Ben Byers has got a lot of pace starting this race.
Through that chicane, actually, over the bridge, yeah. He's got some speed in that one.
He does, and he's putting good pressure on Gene Rollinson here. So, pace-wise, Ben Byers is quite a bit faster. He's about 4/10 quicker that last lap. So, Gene and Ben are quite a bit faster than Gary out at the front there. So, we'll just have to wait and see how things pan out.
Contrast the machinery. You've got Gene Rollinson in the 997, and you've got Ben Byers, who's in the 9912 GT3 Cup car.
So Gene Rollinson's about 1 second faster than Gary Derrick out front. So Gary, he is at the front. He could just be cruising, looking after those tyres. It is a longer stint, so he might be playing the long game. But definitely Gene and Ben are pushing hard. So Ben's putting amazing pressure on Gene. And he'll be using more tyres. So.
And 44, Todd Borden in the McLaren. Great to see them. We were just talking about the McLarens before. We take a look at the Janetta there of Steve Scholes, winner of that second race in the series, the first win of the series. Absolutely stoked, very cool. Todd Borden was saying, yes, looking after the tyres is going to be a key factor, but also wearing the cool suit. Because he said, you know, he had the aircon on in the first race and he decided he didn't want to use up too much extra horsepower by running the aircon today. So just straight cool suit, so they'll need it today. You know, your track temperature's almost hitting 41 degrees, but plenty of chances. We've got the old overtaking spots around here. Chris Nicholson, 997, coming home third in that second race. Beautiful shot of the McLaren from the rear.
Yeah, lots of moves being done back down at the hairpin. It's obviously a hot spot, definitely for the weekend. You can obviously, you're carrying a lot of speed in there, so you've got to be careful. Prick your brake marker pretty wisely, because as we've seen over the weekend, lots of people have overshot it and gone wide. So, but look at that, a pass over the bridge and down the inside. This is
Nigel Cromie, the jet rotor, and he's taken to this like a duck to water. In the another really nice presented McLaren.
That's really game. I mean, some of them are lifting nearly all four wheels over that bridge, so amazing move by him.
The key word is nearly, because under the driving limits you've got to have at least two. Can't be completely airborne, because when you come down the other side, braking and pulling up maybe just a bit of an issue.
For sure.
That's what the motorsport officials will be keeping a close eye on. And Richard Moore too, top New Zealand motor racer from Downforce, as the driving standards observer of the DSO, and of course a champion racer from the V8s and in Porsches himself.
So I wonder what happens there. I wonder if Gary Derrick's made a mistake, because he had a nearly 2 second gap that last lap, and now Gene Rollinson and Ben Myers are knocking right on the door right behind him. So,
well, his best lap was a 140.7, which was his last lap, but the other guys are actually about a couple of seconds quicker, as Gene Rollinson has a look. Big wide plane down here by the hairpin, tightens up now the straight, and then they come racing up through the ripples, glide and slide, and then onto the entrance onto the bridge.
And Gary will be sitting here thinking whether he lets him go, saves his tyre and has a strong push towards the end and hopes that Gene uses more tyre out in front, or does he try and hold him off and make him use all that tyre from behind him? But obviously he's going to use a bit as well, trying to hold Gene off. And these two fighting is just bringing Ben Byers back into the fight. So
straight away, this is turning into a classic enduro race where your more powerful, higher spec GT3 Porsches are charging out to dominate the early sprint before the 20-minute pit lane window opens after 20 minutes, and then we end up with a longer sprint finish of 20 minutes.
We've got the 35 of Rob Steele, obviously had that moment during the start, so he's obviously collected himself back together quite well and is chasing back forward as well. So he's obviously had a rough start, but as you can see from the longer race, you can just have an average start and you can collect it back throughout the race. There's so much time.
Which is great when you consider, like, all the drama happened in the opening lap. First bust up at the bus stop, and then one guy just didn't even get onto the track, straight onto the grass off the opening lap, and then everything is cool, calm, collected now, regathered, settled down. Now the driver's settling into their race pace and just getting that chance to get the feel of the car, drive by the seat of your pants, literally, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And Gene here, he really needs to try and get past Gary Derrick, as he will be using a bit more front tyre than him with a little bit of wash. So they're very close at the hairpin.
And he gets the job done, nicely done. They gave each other a bit of racing room, a three-way scrap. Rollinson, Derek, Byers.
And obviously Ben Byers is a little bit faster than Gary at the moment as well, so he's going to be wanting to try and get us past him as soon as he can so he can hang in there with Gene and fight for the lead. But
they've opened up a big gap of about 13 seconds back to Lachlan, Fitzgerald Symes and another Porsche. Then Chris Nicholson, Martin Dippy, Todd Borden in 7th at the moment, first of the GT4 cars and first of the McLarens. Connor Adam back in 8th.
Connor Adams had a really good start as well. He's just by himself, he's collecting, he's taking cars one by one, keeping it clean, and he's actually catching up to the pack as well. So Connor Adam with the 41.9, he's a little bit slower than some of the front runners, but he is faster than the people 2 cars in front of him. So
very impressed by the jet boat and Nigel Cromie, because he's just got past Todd Borden, so he's now leading that battle to be the first of the GT4s, and he's showing a lot of maturity first time out. He spoke to us at the Gibbston Valley Winery that are getting right behind the Rodin Cars Super GT Series when they did the introduction, which was a great place, and a very cool place to introduce all the top drivers and have a bit of a get together. But you know, he's a bit nervous about it, but he's, you know, showing all that experience in that lovely presented McLaren. Beautiful looking car, and doing a great job of showing he's got a natural gift for speed.
yeah, no, for sure, he's keeping a cool, calm head. He's just relaxing, and yeah, he knows who he's racing, I think. So he's just been nice and careful around the GT3s and focusing on the people he's got to be fighting, which is the other GT4 cars.
Then of course you've got Rob Steele, who's 35 in the Porsche. Bit of a big start there, but he's done a great job.
He's done a wicked job to keep it out of that sandpit during the start. I'm sure he was well crossed up in the cockpit, so I'm sure he would have been a bit clenched during that, but he's come away with it fine. So
yeah, and that was great, because if he got into the sandpit straight away, that would just bring out the old GR Yaris safety car that we've seen quite a bit of today, but thankfully not so much as they fly over the bridge here in the 1 hour race. 20-minute pit lane window. Remember, it opens after 20 minutes and then shuts after 20 minutes. So we'll have a 20-minute sort of sprint, long sprint race, 20-minute pit lane window, and then a 20-minute longer sprint home to the finish. But now, as you can see, the field is spread out. So this, from a driving point of view, this is what you would love, because you're going to find your own limit in your own car, your own sort of data, and sit on it, try and do as good as you can.
yeah, exactly. You can sit back, relax, make sure you're hitting your braking markers, your apexes, your exits, and you can really look after those tyres. So it is a long race. That's all you got to do, is you not use too much energy, relax, and that's usually when you're going the fastest anyway, when you're nice and relaxed, making sure you hit all your markers, not worrying about it too much. So
is it hard to relax though when you're trying to go as fast as you can and clean as you can?
I think that's definitely a big part of it. It's a little bit of a secret, actually. You have to relax, because if you're trying too hard, you're focusing on too many other things. You just need to be able to relax, let your body do the work, and let it come naturally. Otherwise, that's when you're trying too hard, that's when mistakes are going to happen. You're going to make lockups, and that's when people are going to take advantage of that. So,
and that's what a situation, not getting, you know, gripping the wheel or being tense behind the wheel, because that's when you can suddenly overdrive the car.
exactly, you want to be relaxed in the car. That's why all these drivers have seat fittings and stuff like that, so it's all molded to them, so their body is as comfortable as they can, uses as least amount of energy as you can, and just relax. And yeah, that's when you'll be the fastest. So having your hands obviously not too tight on the steering wheel and just really enjoying the moment.
Is it hard to lose sight of actually enjoying just racing when you're in a race like this and you're trying so hard?
So when you're out there, obviously it's just a massive adrenaline rush, and you're enjoying it as much as you can. And I think you wouldn't be doing it if you weren't having fun. So I think the whole time it's just an absolute ball for us. We're a bit crazy. I've been definitely told before, how do you find it fun driving around in circles, but I think some of us motorsport fans are a bit mad, so we absolutely love it and never get sick of it.
Yes, it's the other sports people, or the other athletes. 69 Steve Sullivan is coming into the pits, but it's not part of the pit lane window because it hasn't opened yet. So unfortunately, Steve Sutherland out of Nelson, he's spends most of his time repairing fishing boats for Tallies and Sea Lords, is bringing their car into the pit. So Perhaps Rusty might be able to walk along pit lane and find out exactly if he's got an issue or not. It's Gene Rollinson.
Has some pressure onto him from Gary Derrick now. So I wonder if they'd started on a colder pressure and now the tyres have come up and now he's got this pace, because Gene was pushing. He did have to push quite hard at those earlier stages to get through the field and get to where he is. So maybe he used a bit of tyre, or maybe Gary and the team down there have been wise about it and made sure that the tyres come on later on and save them a bit. So,
because that's always a tactic, because you really want to have your speed coming on towards the end of this race, not so much at the start, isn't it? Because it's an enduro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, lots of teams and drivers have different opinions on it. Some of them want to get straight out the gate, have high tyre pressure, be as fast as you can. Other drivers like to maybe sacrifice the start a little bit and be strong at the end. So it's all just preference. But Gary Derrick, that lap was 4 tenths faster than Gene Rollinson's fastest lap. So he's on the pace. He's only 2 tenths behind him now. So it's going to be a close one, that's for sure.
Don't forget, when they do their pit stop, compulsory pit stop, it's all about the balance of performance. So the faster cars will be held the longest. The slower cars will be held less time in the pits. And we'll be back out on the track, but then everything should even itself out. It's that unfortunate there for the Hydrolink 69 Porsche of Steve Sutherland from Nelson being parked up in the garage. Must have a bit of an issue there. So that's a frustration there in a 1 hour race. And we've only done 9 laps.
And Gene Rollinson now under a lot of pressure from Gary. So Gene is actually, he seems quite fast in the first sector, but Gary's obviously getting something very, very right down. Oh, and they've touched coming into the chicane over the bridge. Oh!
And they're both off on the kitty litter and into the wall, Gene Rollinson. And one of them goes back onto the track and collects 61. Turn it up. It's gone spastic. It's gone loose out here. 3 of them. And they've parked it onto the entrance to the bridge. Whoa!
So hopefully Gary can get that car back started, but I think you'll find there'll be a safety car there seeing Gene in the wall. And he's out of the car and he is not happy at all.
So a little bit of a touch with Gary Derrick, and then they touched again. Yellow flag. Gene Rollinson is out of the car onto the grass. And I think Derrick, has he got going?
I'm not sure, but I think Gene, you'll find he needs to get away from the track and find the closest flag point, because
he's hot under the collar.
He is. He needs to just walk away.
He was looking for Gary Derrick, I think.
Yep. But he's a smart driver. He'll walk away, go to a flag point, mind his own business. So we're back under a safety car, and I'm guessing the team over there will clear the debris at the bus stop.
So now
as
the
well.
recovery crew, as they were getting ready for the pit lane window to open in about 2 or 3 minutes, will now be able to go and clear a bit of debris off the track. Everyone can take a deep breath, calm down, and it's very, very hard to keep calm and cool in 30-odd degrees outside and 40-odd degrees with the track temperature. So disappointment there for Gene Rollinson, number 5, but luckily that's where the big crash happened yesterday for Shane Hodgson, who thankfully will be released from hospital with a lower back injury today. And Gene Rollinson, not a happy chappy, but luckily he can walk away in the car. Hopefully hasn't suffered too much damage. So just when everything was settling down, Gary Derrick has parked the car on the other side of the lake.
So Ben Byers here was fighting for 3rd position, and now theoretically I think you'll find he's in the lead. So,
and Dave Rogers, 61, was just minding his own business, and he got caught up with the ricochet.
Yeah. So that was, to be honest, he's very lucky he did not collect the other car that was stopped on the bridge, because that could have been a lot of damage and all stopped there. So he's done an awesome job to just have a little bit of a spin and stay away from all the walls. So
that's what you get in the endurance racing series. Good to see 61 still going, actually.
It's awesome. And Connor Adam has found himself in a very good position here. A lot of them have.
Yep, so things in a long 1 hour race can change dramatically, as we've just seen, right from the opening lap, suddenly getting ready once everything had settled down, and we thought, great, cool looking race, and then all of a sudden, bang, it's all gone haywire. But now it's time for the recovery crews to collect the number 5 car of Gene Rollinson, the 148 of Gary Derrick. And so disappointment there for both drivers and for the teams.
So Ben Byers here is in an awesome position. So he's about nearly half a second quicker than the people behind him. But now that Lachlan's got some clear air, he's got another fast driver in front of him, he should just be able to find his own pace and maybe find even more pace. Maybe now finding himself here fighting for the lead. Absolutely gutted for those two though, because they were that was going to be a good battle.
Well, they were just building up to a really good showdown, weren't they? They were side by side going up towards, and you've got to have a bit of room to go through the ripples, so you want to have any, you know, getting onto the bridge can be a dangerous part of the circuit here when they were side by side, but one touch and you thought they were going to move away, then they other touch. So the pit lane window was just opened, perfect timing, and suddenly everyone, just like in the 30-minute sprint race this morning, are going to duck and dive in the pits and take advantage of having the GR Yaris safety car out on the track and get their pit lane window open and done and shut.
And we've got the 61 of the Porsche GT4 staying out, so he's effectively going to be in the lead.
Connor Adam. So let's go down and check out all the action with Rusty down in pit lane.
Just with Connor Adams' car, Clint, this is pretty busy here in the pit lane, as you can appreciate at the moment. Now some of the GT4 machines are coming in. Grant Aiken, who did a great job in race 2 earlier today in that GT4 Porsche, he's come in. Our race winner there in race 2 as well, Scholes. So some of the key teams that you know in motorsport here in New Zealand, IMS, International Motorsport, Lyle and the team are here. Everyone keeping an eye on the stopwatch. One of the McLarens being released from the lane, one of the GT4 machines. Obviously there's a bit of variation here depending upon the type of car in question as to the length of your time stop. No changes to Connor's car that we can see. They seem pretty happy with it. 1 minute, we're being told, before he gets released. Thumbs up here, boss. All good. Looks it. Martin Dippy still waiting to leave the pit lane as well, and so too is Shane Helms, who's a little further out on the apron there in the Golden Homes Aston Martin, right beside the 78. Crew counting them down. Harry-O about to be released, and off he goes. Aston Martin Auckland entry. And Lachlan Fitzgerald-Symes was on the radio with the crew too, quite some extensive chat with them, just trying to understand what the order on the timing was more than anything else, but I don't see any issues at the moment with the 26. Very cool, calm and collected. They're keeping him cool as well by running one of those little battery operated blowers, get some cool air into the car. He's about ready to hit the start button. Connor leaving the lane now. Connor Adam in car number 9. We know how strong he is in a Porsche since he made his debut in one of these cars 18 months ago. Fitzgerald-Symes looks good here. So about to head back out of the lane. We'll then be able to reset, get a sense of where everyone is. So we've still got a ways to go in this one. And off he goes. So busy time in the lane here, Clint, but it's all been fairly straightforward. He's happy, all good. Yep, we've got the thumbs up from the LFS crew. So Lachlan's happy as he rejoins the circuit.
So good timing there for all those crews to get their compulsory pit in and out, get it out of the way, and then move on, get back into racing, and then come back out on the safety car. So a chance to certainly reboot and reset and regather, and a chance for the recovery crews to do the big cleanup. And still a bit of a job to do to try and move the Gene Rollinson car off the wall. Gene giving them a hand there. Even the tractors are getting a busy day today. And well done to all of the volunteers who make motorsport happen right around the country and right throughout the summer with the Speedworks Motorsport New Zealand Championship round here at Highlands International Motorsport Park. So our thanks to all the volunteers and also all the members from Motorsport New Zealand, all the crew from Highlands, all of our crew from Speedworks, And of course they're here to help you, to assist you. But remember, they're not your mum. They're not here to pick up after you or run around after you. So if they ask you to do something, race teams and drivers, please help them do it.
For sure. A lot of these guys out here are volunteers as well. So it's awesome that they give up their weekends and their time to help all of us drivers go out racing. So couldn't thank them enough. Especially on a hot day like this in those overalls. I can imagine how much they're cooking inside. So thank you.
Yeah, so it's been a very interesting weekend to open up the motorsport, but it's just great that we are all racing. And there's number 256, Ben Byers in the pits. Nice looking Porsche, isn't it?
Oh, it's a wicked livery from him. And he's in a really good position here. So I think you find he should come out in the top of the timing screen. Maybe not on track. But.
GT3 Cup car.
Correct.
And nicely presented from South Fence Machinery.
They're good looking cars, those Porsches, for sure.
And just dialed in for endurance racing, aren't they?
Oh, Porsche make an amazing race car. I mean, even the road car, I've heard that they're absolutely dialed on the road and perfect if you just want to go out on the weekend and hit the track. So.
And great that we had a chat earlier today that Ryan Wood, coming out of the 86s, following the footsteps of Callum Hedge out of the 86s and joining that Porsche racing scene with Earl Bamber Motorsport over in Australia. So another pathway, not just to Formula One, but it's just a pathway to professionalism, isn't it? A pathway for young drivers to become professional motor racing drivers, to do what you want to do and doing it full time. Yeah,
exactly. Obviously, I think one of the perfect situations for any driver is to be a part of a manufacturer. And Porsche, Earl Bamber Motorsport, Giltrap Group, the Porsche Scholarship, all of those guys from New Zealand is made an awesome opportunity for Kiwi drivers who do want to do GT racing, who want to follow that Porsche route, to go and do that in Australia. And it's a massive opportunity for people like that. So I see, obviously, Ryan Wood's going through it now. Callum Hedge has done it. Matthew Payne's done it. I know Madeline Stewart's over there doing it. So we've got a lot of Kiwis starting to head into the international stage. So we're just growing and growing as a motorsport country. So it's awesome.
Yes, our never-ending production of petrol heads just continues. Caleb Narto is one of those young guys here. And by the way, if you've got a bit of coin, you've got a bit of passion for motorsport, and you want to support a young driver, Caleb would be looking for a bit of money to carry on his career and to get some more sponsorship to go overseas and be part of that international pathway of New Zealand motorsport. So there's an opportunity here for Caleb Narto, isn't there, mate?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I had my first taste of a bit of international racing this year. We had some good results, had some good wins, so I'm biting at my fingers to get back over there. So, we'll be working as hard as we can here in New Zealand to get the funding to go back over.
I'll never forget the look on your mum and dad's face and how proud he was when you grabbed pole position for the New Zealand Grand Prix. After seeing you a couple of years ago down at Invercargill with a busted car, and you were trying to get your Formula Ford back up and running again, and the hard work that you'd done, to see that was just a marvellous moment. So that was great.
Yeah, no, it's been a hard few years with just me, my mum and my dad running me. So endlessly grateful for the time that they've done, and it's awesome to be able to get some good results and make them proud. Obviously, they're proud with whatever I do, but those results just make it that little bit sweeter for sure.
Yeah, totally.
He misses it a little bit. I know he's been told to sit back a bit, but no, it's what's best for it. So he enjoys it, and hopefully he can come watch me this year. It would be very cool. So obviously
and that's the other thing is sometimes with COVID, you can't even actually go to the track sometimes because it might take you 10 weeks to get back home.
Yeah, exactly, and then
or if you get stuck overseas with COVID.
Yeah, no. So yeah, MIQ's a little bit of a pain with that. But I know, I'm sure there's lots of people who want to go over and watch their kids race. Obviously, you got the Lawsons. I'm sure they'll be wanting to go watch Liam do some F2 and some F1. I'm sure the whole family would love to go over. So hopefully this COVID situation gets better and we can all go back and enjoy some motorsport, not just from our home country, but all over the world. So
But at the moment we're in the sunshine. Track temperature sitting on just around about 41 degrees, and finally from the opening lap they're going to get rid of that debris from Paul Kelly's Porsche after he busted through the bus stop. It was a bit like the expressway, not the bus stop, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So finally trying to clear up that through the chicane, and they've just about got Gene Rollinson's car. Disappointing sight there, number 5, Gene Rollinson's Porsche being pulled away, but at least the birds are having a nice cool time. Yeah, they're keeping their cool. You can always go to Lake Dunstan.
You better watch out. I've heard there's an alligator in there, isn't there?
Oh,
There's an alligator hanging out on the side of the lake.
I think the birds are safe. You can always have a crack at the go-karts as well here. Destination Highlands Motorsport Park. Destination green light, green flag, hopefully very, very soon. That's what we're looking for as the Yaris safety car, the GR safety car, is circulating, but hopefully might be able to reboot and restart this race. So it looks like just about everyone should have had their compulsory pit stop now. 10 minutes to go before the pit lane closes, but of course under safety car you can all duck and dive, get in there, get it out of the way. And now we're going to have a 30-minute race home to the finish, and that will favour the GT3 Porsches. So if they were a bit frustrated after the second race or the first race of the series, there'll be no frustration after this one, because they've got plenty of opportunity and lots of time now if they can stay out of trouble.
Yeah, we've just seen the 61 of David Rogers in that GT4 Porsche come in. Obviously he had that bit of a spin over the bridge, so I'm sure when he's doing his compulsory stop, hopefully they're just having a look and they make sure that everything's all clear so he can carry on.
So Brian Green is now getting into the car from the big supporter of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. So a man who's very good at going sideways, now doing some circuit racing. He said he was basically just driving the truck down here, but he's doing a bit more than that. So well done, Greenie.
You're getting a lot of rally drivers
Yeah.
coming in and doing some circuit racing now, so it'd be awesome. You're even getting some circuit races doing some rallies. So you obviously got Shane and stuff like that, and the group at GVI Kiwi and PJ and stuff like that have done an awesome job of Jack's Ridge. That's a massive effort from them. So
Hayden McKenzie has gone from the V8s to winning Target and getting into rally driving. Rusty, what's happening, mate? Let's go down to the pit lane.
Clint, just to update you too, we believe from officials here in the lane that is the last of the compulsory pit stops that needed to be ticked. It was done. The driver change for Brian Green jumping in and done within the designated window. So we believe all of them have been done, and no further issues in that regard to pursue here.
Great, so well done to all the teams. Getting it done, getting it out of the way, and get on with the job now. The job of just going racing for 30 minutes. Now you can sit back and, as you say, take a breath, relax, right?
yep, don't have to worry about too much. Just worry about your job, driving. So
Get your team orders in your head. Get plenty of heat into your tyres. And that'll keep the tyres not overworking right now, because now it's going to be basically a 18-minute sprint race. But can they keep it clean?
hopefully, fingers crossed. We would love to get 27 minutes of just hard out racing. So obviously by the timing screen, you've got Ben Byers, who is on lap 15. He's at the back of the crew, but that team there has done an awesome job of doing his compulsory pit stop and made the maximum advantage out of that. So,
and I think the presentation of all these GT cars has been commendable too for all the race teams. I think they've done a great job. There's lots of colours out there. I love the livery of the 36 Ben Foreman McLaren in the traditional orange and blue colours of the McLaren racing car. So well done to all the teams. So yes, the lights are out. Safety car is going to leave the circuit. Now the blood pressure gets up. Now we get a little bit tense, but now we actually switch on and refocus for the restart. 54. Ben Foreman in that McLaren. Right behind, it's Crenna. David Crenna. As they go nicely and safely through the bus stop this time. Not too much drama. Swoop around the southern loop. So who are the drivers who have to work their way back up through the field? Some of the GT3 drivers got a bit more work to do, but chance there for the GT4s just to open up and get out of the way. Those guys with less experience here at Highlands Motorsport Park, because a lot of these drivers are actually driving here for the first time too, so they're getting to grips with the track, aren't they? And I suppose now there would be a fair idea they should have been dialed into the track by the third race.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're all just enjoying it now. It's a wicked track. And look at the battle hanging on here with the GT4s. It's all going at it towards the back there, isn't it?
Steve Scholes, who picked up a win on the Janetta, and Grant Aiken, there they are just basically shadowing each other too. It's like a big long track day for them.
Yeah, exactly. Look at everybody running the defensive line. It's like it's a massive sprint race. It's like they've only got 5 minutes left. But it's awesome. It's enjoyable for us, isn't it?
Well, we certainly hope you're enjoying the live stream at the moment on the Speedworks Facebook page. Speedworks Motorsport New Zealand Championship. Great way to start a sensational hot summer of motor racing coming out of the COVID situation, to be able to actually just get here and do some racing in Highlands again with Liam Lawson back with the Rodin cars FZ and the Rodin car Super GT. Great side as they pull up under the brakes around the reverse Indy. All the Aston Martins, the McLarens, the Janettas. So fantastic display of top class machinery, and just sorting themselves out in the front of the field. Also rebooting exactly where they are with our pit lane window. It's still showing that Ben Byers is the leader.
Yeah, so Ben Byers is on lap 17, so I think you'll find there's either a timing issue here, or he's made the pit stop and got out in front of everybody. 1 lap.
No, I think hopefully the timing situation will reboot itself, and we'll try and find out exactly, as Rusty was saying, we'll just get a bit of sense of what's going on and who's doing what. But at the moment it's showing that Ben Byers is on lap 17, and he leads from Brent Foreman, 36 in the McLaren, and 71 Francois Biziak is currently in third place in the Porsche Cayenne.
At the moment, we've got 2 GT4 McLarens out at the front. You've got that beautiful orange and blue livery McLaren. Obviously, McLaren had a bit of success this year. We had Daniel Ricciardo win at Monza, so that livery's going good.
That was good, though, wasn't it, for McLaren?
Oh,
and great for Ricciardo.
Exactly. It's awesome to see him back on the top step doing a shoey, so it's cool.
There they are, side by side. This is where it all went wrong.
Oh,
they touched each other and sent him into the wall. No! 997, Chris Nicholas. Just a little touch going on with the bridge. No. And a big crash. But luckily the car has not gone head first, and it got more sideways. But, man, that's the third time this weekend the entrance to the bridge has hit. One of the cars has also come off around contact around by reverse Indy. Oh, it's Steve Scholes, winner of the first race. And he's had drama after collecting going around the bridge, and then there's been more drama around by reverse Indy. So we've just got restarted, just got regathered, and now it's back for a restart and a re-safety car.
One of the oldest cars in the field here, and we're just sort of pacing these guys, and then old mate decides he wants to cut me off. Going around the outside, just broke the steering and we're in the wall. So don't know what he was trying. I mean, he was on the outside, needs to leave racing room around there. I left him racing room, just cut me off and broke the steering, and we're in the wall.
Did you have a chance to talk, you guys?
Oh yeah, he said I was holding him up. Hang on a minute. I was a straight length behind him, caught him, passed him, and it's an hour race. You've got to conserve your tyres. He decides he wants to have a go. Just sit there and fucking learn something, you know? Ridiculous.
How bad's the damage to the car? You've described it a little bit, but what's involved in terms of a repair?
Broke the steering on it, I guess. I've never driven a Porsche before, so and obviously never crashed one. So it's obviously done the front bumper. There's a little bit of fluid coming out of it. Might be a little bit of cosmetic damage, I guess, as well. But apart from that, should be all good.
You've made a great impression here, mate. We hope to see it round 2.
Right,
cheers.
thanks, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, so we said that Gene Rollinson showed all that pace, all that need for speed, but not a happy chappy towards the end. But man, we've had more drama here, and that was that crash with Chris Nicholson after contact with Steve Scholes, who won that first race, and then Scholes has gone round up and over the bridge, and he's had more drama, because I could see some of the ladies and the spectators raising their hands and looking, oh no, what's happened here, and down by reverse Indy in the kitty litter. So
Drama everywhere.
Yeah, just when here we go. So there's Scholes. That's with the contact with the Porsche. Bang.
It's just such a high-speed part of the track. I mean, when you're behind someone, you want to get past them as fast as you can, but it's just one of those things that happen, sadly. So that bridge has taken out a few people this weekend. Actually, before the bridge, they haven't even made the bridge.
It's the entrance to the bridge with that little wee tricky left-right over the ripple strip, which has caused a lot of problems. So Chris Nicholas, unfortunate for him, after that contact with Steve Scholes, and now Steve Scholes is also parked up on the other side of the bridge. So once again, the busiest people out there, not just the Yarra safety car, but the Highlands recovery crew. And suddenly, we've got 19 minutes, what looked like going to be a really good sprint finish. We said if they could keep it clean, be careful.
Yep.
But it's motorsport, and that's what happens.
Can we have a chat with him or not? Huh?
I don't want words.
Okay.
It's coming out, so.
So it sounds like Rusty's going to try and. So there's the. Oh, gee.
It's a hard hit, isn't it?
That's a hard hit. That's really disappointing for. Because he was third, remember, in the opening race today.
He was, isn't it?
Behind Steve Scholes. And he was first in the GT3. So he's walking around shaking his head in a world of pain and a world of disappointment. The good thing is at least he's out of the car.
Exactly, because that's driver's side as well, I think. So he's very lucky to walk away with that A-OK.
And
so
just looking over to Steve Scholes saying, mate, what happened? So this is where we go down. Todd Borden coming around out of, and a little bit of his contact here. Oh, just a clip. Todd Borden is just a little bit of a clip and sent Steve Scholes. He sent Nicholas into the wall and then sent Scholes into the wall. But I don't think certainly wasn't intentional. Just a little side pull.
literally just nothing. It's the tyre and tyre. It's gripped up, and he would have been a passenger from there. Would have been such a snap. So a bit of damage been happening this weekend. Hopefully everybody can get it fixed. But
we can see that damage to the driver's side rear tyre. What happened?
Oh, just out of the last turn, hairpin there and up the inside of the other guy there, and he just came straight across into my back. So yeah, I don't know. It's racing, but some of these guys, up the inside of them, you just don't come across and hit someone on the inside, clearly up and just into me, Trouble with all these cautions and it's, I don't know. I really don't know. It's a little bit disheartening. We were going really well, so.
Definitely. You seem like you're okay physically, but what shapes the car and what's wrong with it?
Oh, it's just bent the rear arm. It won't be major damage. It's just bent something in the rear, so yeah, it is what it is.
Have you had a word, you two?
No, Chetty's out there, but you get that. There's a bit of that going on out there. The trouble is we've got all these, slower guys, and they're trying to reshuffle everyone around, and it's just not working very well, I don't think. But anyway, we just got to be patient and get on with it,
Hard luck.
Yeah, cheers.
So it's been a day of disappointment for a lot of the drivers and the race teams, because they were looking forward to having a bit more racing room, and they were getting that in the longer race. But of course, a couple of big prangs, and ironically, bang bang, with the guys who had a smile on the dial from earlier today after being first in the second race of the series, after the first race was a no contest because of a big crash at that same spot at the bridge. Steve Scholes has now been involved in a couple of incidents, so it's unfortunate for him, disappointment for Todd Borden and also for Chris Nicholas. But there's the Scholes mobile, the Janetta, not looking the best. But luckily for him, his garage is just around the corner here at Highlands, so it's not too far away to take it away where they have to do the repair and rebuild.
yeah, hopefully there's not too much damage done to the front of that car. Obviously doesn't look the best, but you never know. We've got some struts there, actually protect all the engine and stuff like that. So let's hope that they can get that car fixed and be back next weekend.
Yes, so all roads lead to Ruapuna, but all roads lead to the repair shop for quite a few entrants for this week.
There's a few cars there, and it's going to be a busy week for a few teams for sure, some late nights. So, yeah, hopefully they can all get it done. Hopefully it's not too bad, but it's definitely been a bit of damage done this weekend.
There will be some very busy panel beaters in Cromwell this week.
Yeah.
Might get a bit of extra work before cars have to then get up to Ruapuna for practice on Friday.
Exactly, and hopefully there's parts, because obviously it's been hard to bring stuff in, isn't it, because of COVID, so we'll be interested to see.
But luckily we've got a field of 27 cars, so we still have plenty of cars and plenty of opportunity for those racers who are left to circulate behind the safety car, while the recovery crews do another good job of cleaning up the Janetta of number 58, Steve Scholes, from originally out of Dunedin, certainly from Otago, and now here from Central Otago in Cromwell.
It's been awesome racing. I mean, the racing's been tight, it's been close, and then sadly some of these things happen when you've got close, tight racing. Mistakes are made. Some people get a little bit too eager. I know I've made some silly mistakes, racing too hard, so it's just one of those things, sadly. But overall, the weekend, I think the racing's been really, really cool from this category, and I think the audiences are loving it, the public's loving it, so it's good. It's been a really good series so far.
Well, you've seen plenty of action.
For sure,
and that's the most important thing when it comes to the motor racing. Some of it's unfortunate, some of it's very disappointing for the drivers and the teams involved, but as Toddy said, it is what it is, and that is motor racing. That is a sad sight, though.
That is, yeah. It's a beautiful car, so let's hope that they can get that all fixed up. I'm sure they can. All of these guys are run by pretty good teams, so yeah, and I'm sure he'll be to be back at Ruapuna.
So let's take a look at what happened. So there's plenty of action here in the Rodin cars Super GT. So this is, they were side by side, Nicholas, and then they're trying to get into the ripples. They just touch once and into the wall, bang, because that's where it closes.
And that's a hard hit there as well. That's pretty high speed coming into there. So it's a bit of a shame. It's just a racing incident, saying that happens. So yeah.
But it's not often you touch one guy and he goes into the wall, and then all of a sudden you carry on, you go back around and you get clipped, and you clipped another guy, and then you'll get in the wall.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a shame. He's had the wars this race, but he's had a good weekend. So it's not the way you want to finish it. But
talk about a contrast. So Steve Scholes has helped us with the commentary, so he's enjoyed that. He's had a great chance to enjoy the membership here of Highlands Motorsport Park. He won the opening race of the season, which was the second one, and now he's been involved in 2 crashes in the next one. So talk about highs and lows, Trev. That is a weird sight, isn't it? That's a great sight here by the recovery crews, but a disappointing sight for the team of Chris Nicholas.
Yeah, but that's motorsport. One point you're at the top end. The next time you could be in the wall. So sadly, it's just a part of the sport. Highs and lows, character building. That's what I was told when I had some lows, but it switches and you have some highs. So learning everything.
There's been a lot of sawdust spread around this racetrack this weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
And meanwhile, Ben Byers, even though he was probably the last to pit, looks like he's still in the lead, and he's done 20 laps. And Ben Foreman, number 36 in the McLaren, is also on lap 20, is currently in second spot. Then it's Dave Kremer, number 62. And a McLaren, which is currently in third spot.
So this long race, that was an hour long, thinking about strategies and plans in place. And I think you find it's going to be a 10-minute sprint. So everybody's going to be going hard out towards the end. So
and it's going to be a battle of survival.
Yes.
And we'll just see if the timing system reboots, just to see exactly if he's... Yes, so they are working on the timing system, because once all the cars go into the pits, all the transponders will then cross the start-finish line. So somewhere along the line, something hasn't quite clicked over. So Ben Byers is showing on the timing system as being in the lead, but he's not. So they're working on rebooting the timing while they're working on cleaning out the track. And luckily, it's a 1-hour race. We've still got 10 minutes to try and sort it out on the track. Ba-ba-ba-boom.
Yeah, no, let's hope. Let's hope it's going to be a blast. So hopefully 10 minutes of just straight racing. That's what we want. That's what we see. That GR Yaris is beautiful, but the next 10 minutes, it can go park up. Don't want to see it.
And the cranes have been very busy today too.
Exactly.
And all the tractors.
Exactly. Sure, those volunteers just want to come up here and sit down, have an ice block, relax.
Well, I know that the track temperature's just hit 41 degrees, and some of the garages it's probably about 60 odd degrees at the moment.
It's hot. It's definitely hot out there, for sure.
I don't think it's just the heat though. In some of the garages around the pit lane. And this is one of the reasons why.
A few heated people.
Yes, hot under the collar. And now there. So let's try and go down to Rusty to see what Gary Derrick get his thoughts.
He's just chatting away with the team here, so we might try and grab a word if we can. Can we sneak in here? Sorry, guys. Firstly, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yep. I got let off lightly, really. Just minimal damage in the front. But yeah, I let him pass, and then I was chasing him and caught up to him, and he was sort of holding me up, especially into the hairpin there, and I got the overlap on him, and we were side by side coming down onto the bridge. I had the racing line, and I got my nose in front, and I was going to go through, and he on the pedal still and hit me, and we went apart, and I thought we were going to get away with it, but he must have got out of control and come around, spun around and hit me again, and then that was it. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but I guess when you're competitive, you don't want to give an inch, and yeah, I just thought I had the right of way going through there. I had the overlap, but yeah, I guess he might see it differently.
Yep. I mean, I'm a huge believer in balance. We've spoken to him, and now we're speaking to you, so we get both sides of the equation here. He's pretty uptight. Have you spoken, the pair of you, since, and what was the outcome of that conversation, that discussion?
We threw words across the track over there, but it was pretty heated, and yeah, laying blame that he said that I cut him off, but we were side by side, and I was on the outside and I was on the racing line and had the overlap, so I don't know what his problem is.
Okay. Final one, can the car be repaired, and are you all set for round two?
As I said, yeah, minimal damage to my car, yeah, just a couple of corners, bit of panel damage. We'll get it all fixed up and ready for Rapuna.
Thank you.
Okay, cheers.
So Greg Rust working hard along pit lane. Apparently in that shunt yesterday it actually cracked the concrete wall, so they have to put a new one in, that new piece of concrete. That was so hard it actually cracked a piece of that concrete.
And that's, I know those concrete blocks are a few tons, so that's that was obviously quite a high speed crash.
That shows you the amount of impact, and still trying to work out exactly what happened with that particular crash for Shane Hodgson yesterday afternoon. But we've had more than just one this afternoon in the 1 hour race. It has been a war of attrition, and it's been a very frustrating day for some of the drivers, some of the race teams. A very hot day for some of the drivers. That's Ben Foreman in the lovely presented McLaren. It looks like he's been parked up, but we think that Dave Kremer is number 62 in another McLaren, the 550S GT4, and he is now the leader.
What's happened?
Well, as a result of the previous accident, there's obviously some more damage than we realised for the brakes. Lost all our brake fluid. So we were leading the GT4s at that stage with a lap up, and it's all over.
You are gutted, I can tell.
Mate, not getting much luck today. That's quite a blow.
That's a bit of a shame. He was doing an amazing job in that beautiful car. And again, sadly, it's just one of those things that happens. So he'll be gutted, but I'm sure he'll put his head down and look towards Rapuna now. Have another good result. So he's had great pace all weekend. So let's hope that he comes back next weekend just as strong and has a better weekend.
Well, talk about drama, Trev. It's all unfolded in the most unlikely way, and for some teams the most unlucky way this afternoon.
Going to get racing again here?
It's the 1 hour race. It's an enduro. It's hot under the collar. It's a bit aggro. It's a bit fast, but it's still a bit to do, and we've still got 5 minutes to try and finish the race, not under safety car, but well done to all the crews. They've done a superb job trying to clear up the track and once again get us ready to go racing and try and finish off the second race in the series after the first race was declared a no result. Second race today went to Steve Scholes, GT4 in the Janetta. Second was Grant Aitken, and third Chris Nicholas, but now Steve Scholes and Chris Nicholas, two of the casualties in what's been a war of attrition this afternoon for the Enduro.
Yeah, no, it's been more of a sprint race. It's been awesome. It's been awesome racing, though.
Crash and bash, mate.
Yep. Expensive. $15 million worth of cars out there, and there's been a bit of damage out there, so, yeah.
Yeah, but we saw that in the DTM, so...
Exactly, yeah.
You're going to get that in even no matter if the cars are expensive or cheap, you're still going to get smashes and crashes. That's still part of motor racing.
But that's what we like. We like hard, close racing. And, yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out. But when it does work out, it's awesome.
And as you've already heard so far today, there's two sides to every story, and then there's the judiciary.
Exactly, and David Derrick said it really, really well there. Every driver doesn't want to give an inch. They were racing hard, and sadly it just didn't work out for either of them. But they were having an awesome battle, and I'm sure they'll probably be fighting each other just as hard next weekend. So,
but I do know this, that Richard Moore from Downforce, who's the DSO, the Driving Standards Observer, is going to be rather busy after this race.
Yes, no, I saw him down in the pits before. He said hello and then goodbye. He was very busy. He had to be somewhere. So he's having a busy weekend for sure.
So now the man who's going to be busy behind the wheel is number 62, Dave Kremer from Prime Speed Sport in that 570S GT4 McLaren. He's the man, the black and silver. He's under the pressure. So 3 minutes and 22 to go.
Lights out.
And we're going to go back racing. For how long? Can we go all the way to the checkered flag?
3 minutes, surely.
Be a couple of laps to try and keep it clean, fast and fair.
Connor Adam is right up there as well. I think he's in 5th, 4th. Connor Adams had a superb race. He's kept it clean and he's right up the front.
So there's going to be a couple of surprise people here that may be able to try and make a move on the McLaren of Dave Kremer, and one of those is Martin Dippy in the Porsche. Here he goes. He gets it done. Clean. There's Connor Adam coming round the outside. He's making a move. So these are these GT3 Porsches. They're going to try and work their way around the GT4 McLarens and try and put themselves in a position to go for that checkered flag around the outside, around the carousel.
And Martin Dippy and Connor Adam are only 2 tenths apart from their fastest laps. So if Connor can now get past David Kremer, this could be a fight for the lead.
And suddenly from fishing in the Bay of Islands to trying to hook a win here, that's the go for Martin Dippy. Down the inside, Connor Adam. He's made the most of it since he's got out of the Toyota 86s. And once again, another chance to finish on the podium in a Porsche. Steve Harrison in the Aston Martin, holding up number 26, Lachlan Fitzgerald Symes, up and over the bridge.
On the big defensive from the Aston Martin. Lovely racing. It's like what we want to see, clean, hard racing. Is he going to try and go down the inside? Oh.
Round the inside, been held up there, can't get round, so got to try and use his speed. They'll go flying around the outside this time. Still 1 minute 28 to go. Martin Dippy, Connor Adam. Those are the guys out in front. There's the man who started on pole. Lachlan Fitzgerald Symes has now got past the Aston Martin. Now he's going to deal with Kremer in the McLaren, so he's clearing away around the GT4s. You can't go too wide around there because that's where it is, 256. He's got a drive-through penalty bend bias. So that means his race is certainly going to be over. Lachlan Fitzgerald Symes still can't get through. Yes, well done by Kremer. He knew that the GT3 was right there, and he's just moved over, given him room.
Smart, safe racing there.
Doesn't want to get caught up in an unnecessary tangle.
Exactly. You've only got 39 seconds left, so you want to keep it, bring it back to the pits all in one piece. So
now we've picked up the battle for the lead. Connor Adam down the outside. Martin Dippy
is going to go
991 for the Porsche. He's trying to do the switch. Can't do it. Down the straight. Now they're going to be charging towards the entrance to the bridge. Connor Adams got the speed. Martin Dippy's got the position over the ripples. Up and over the bridge. He's going to have a look down the inside. Sends it down the inside. Sends it into the lead. Around the lake. Down around reverse Indy. Connor Adam, number 9. Well, the 86 car may have been deleted in the previous race, but he's well and truly possibly on his way to a potential victory here. So well done to Connor Adam. We'll see if that last lap board has come out, and oh, the relief, what a good time to hit the front right at the last lap of the race.
Exactly, and Connor was very, very smart there. He looked up the inside, getting alongside of him just before the bridge, but he played it smart, stayed right behind him and got him just after the bridge. Beautiful
that
move.
Is one of the good places to pass. Send it down the inside around the bridge. Use your speed coming off. If you can do it clean and tidy. Martin Dippy holding on to second. So Connor Adam, he knows how to build these cars and fix these cars, and he knows how to race these cars as well.
And it's awesome to see somebody who works on them a lot and get the opportunity to drive them and perform as he is. So let's hope we see him maybe full time.
And then it's Lachlan Fitzgerald Symes, who started on pole, and now he's trying to pinch second spot from Martin Dippy. He'll be determined to try and hold on for third. Ben Byers has got that drive-through penalty, but he's going to be dropping down the spot. So this is the battle for second.
This is going to be close.
Martin Dippy holding on. 26, Lachlan Fitzgerald Symes is coming, but it's open over the bridge. He was in second spot in the last time, but now he's in the lead. Connor Adam doing a great job, number 9. And after all the drama, all the smashes and the crashes, Fitzgerald Symes has another look, but I think Dippy's going to be able to dip round and hold on to second. But stand up and take a bow. Connor Adam is going to win race 2 in the Rodin Cars Super GT. Martin Dippy holds on for second, and Lachlan Fitzgerald Symes will come home in third. And I think it's going to be 78 Steve Harrison, the first to come home in GT4. And I know that Mum and Dad are very, very happy and very, very relieved.
They're stoked.
Hey, he's kept the car in good shape and brings it home for the all-in-white, black and white.
Exactly, he's had a really good weekend this weekend, kept it clean. And look, the last race he's been at the front and he's won the race. With smart, clean driving.
And perfect timing.
Yes.
Managed to stay away from all the drama, stay out of all the trouble, keep his nose clean, keep the Porsche clean, and then had the speed in the right position at the right time, and knew where to pounce. Because some drivers say it's hard to pass around the circuit. You can duck down the inside at the hairpin, up and over the bridge, coming off the bridge down the inside. That was a great move. Coming onto the bridge, no.
Maybe not.
So well done to number 9, Connor Adam.
Who's coming down? Are you doing confirmed results here, or who am I liaising with?
So just confirming the result, and unfortunately there was a mistake there, so it's not Ben Byers. He's actually in the pits. He had a drive-through penalty, and it's actually number 1 goes to number 9, Connor Adam. Second, Martin Dippy held on for 991, and Lachlan Fitzgerald Symes, number 26, comes home in third spot. Then it's Steele Harrison, best of the GT4s and the Aston Martin, followed by Nigel Cromie. Well done to Nigel Cromie. Grant Aiken in the top 10. Dave